It was dark, damp, and foggy, but that didn't stop the pro-freedom truckers from kicking off their convoy to mandate freedom in Canada. I'm Drea Humphrey with Rebel News, and I'm going to be doing a quick report on how the trucker convoy started off on Sunday for day one of their journey to Parliament. But the coverage doesn't stop with my report. Rebel News is going to be there reporting with our boots on the ground all the way to Ottawa. So that means you won't need to sift through state-paid media's narrative on what happens or wait for Trudeau to, throw some sort of tantrum and try and dismiss them and their right to choose as the reason for the disruption to our supply chain. No, instead, you'll get the other side of the story, the truckers' side of the story, at our special website dedicated to just that. It's called convoyreports.com. And if you can also chip in there to help us cover the cost of my colleague Mocha, who's traveling all the way there along with the convoy to get the other side of the story. So it's just a simple donation to help cover his hotel, his food, his gas, his vehicle that we're going to rent to get him there safely. We appreciate your support. Well, if the threat of empty shelves isn't enough to fire up Canadians for freedom, I'm not sure if anything else will work. Under the claims of public health, we've had barely a peep from the masses in regards to the elder abuse, increased child suicide, religious persecution, fatal blows to our economy, and loss of bodily autonomy. They've all been normalized by authoritarian rulers claiming it's just all part of doing our part. However, this time Justin Trudeau may have finally overreached just a little too far. He used the significantly less deadly Omicron variant as an excuse to mandate a disruption to our supply chain by implementing a vaccine mandate for cross-border truck drivers. And that means many truckers have had enough.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Lee. I drive one of these. This is the truck I drive up and down the road every week. Ladies and gentlemen, look around your house, look at everything you've got. If you got it, a truck brought it. They're pulling how many of these off the road because drivers are refusing to get the vaccine? Oh, go get the vaccine. Go get the vaccine. You can keep your job. No, we live in Canada here, people. It's a choice. It's a choice. You have the right to go get it. I have the right not to.
Early Sunday morning, before the sun came up, I headed over to the Nordell Inspection Station in Delta, BC. I wanted to capture and show you guys the send-off for the Vancouver to Calgary route of the Truckers' Freedom Convoy. Around 20 rigs were raring to go, and close to 100 supporters were there to thank them for doing so. This was one of two convoy routes that were making their way through British Columbia to rest and then regroup with more truckers in Calgary. And then, like many other routes across the nation, they plan to travel to Ottawa by January 26 to park in front of the Parliament building so that their demands cannot be ignored. But what exactly are those demands?
We are going to stay there until Trudeau ends the mandates, just like Boris Johnson did in the UK. We will not back down.
Oh, that is so exciting. And so what's the first, is there an order of mandates that you want to see gone first, or it doesn't matter?
All of them.
All in one shot. That's what Boris did, and that's what Trudeau better did. Because otherwise, Canadians will not give up the fight.
Both the truckers I spoke to on camera and the ones I spoke to off camera said, contrary to what the legacy media is reporting, this convoy is about much more than what they call an anti-vaccine mandate convoy. Instead, they say this is about the seemingly never-ending slew of COVID-19 restrictions we've been ordered to live under for the past 2 years. So after the truckers were settled in their trucks and the national anthem was sung, supporters bid their truckers and others who are traveling along with them, including whole families, a farewell and good luck on their fight for freeing Canada. that was nowhere near the end of their support. As the sun started to come out, so did more thankful Canadians along the way. They lined up at overpass after overpass and alongside roads too. I imagine the whole way through to Calgary and also to our Mocha at Rebel News, who will be covering the convoy and the convoy's approximate size from there on out at convoyreports.com. Many of those who couldn't make it out to see the truckers and friends in person found other ways to stand in solidarity with them. Some are changing their Facebook profile pics with different convoy images. And while the legacy media is being quick to ensure that the loudest voices heard seem to be the ones condemning the convoy,
to ensure that our supply chains keep flowing is vaccination. We know that about 90% of truckers are vaccinated across this country, and we're going to continue to do everything we can to ensure that COVID does not become a scourge, and therefore we need to encourage everyone to get vaccinated.
And Trudeau is no doubt itching for the opportunity to call the truckers a bunch of racist, misogynistic extremists.
Puis on en connaît tous des gens qui sont en train d'hésiter un petit peu. On va continuer d'essayer de les convaincre. Mais il y a aussi des gens qui sont farouchement opposés à la vaccination.
Qui sont extrémistes.
Qui croient pas dans la science, qui sont souvent misogynes, souvent racistes aussi. C'est un petit groupe, mais qui prend de la place. Et là, il faut faire un choix en tant que leader, en tant que pays. Est-ce qu'on tolère ces gens-là ou est-ce qu'on dit, ben voyons, la plupart des gens, presque 80% des Québécois ont fait ce qu'il fallait faire, se sont fait vacciner.
Last I checked, the GoFundMe created to help fund the costs of the truckers for things like gas, food, and shelter has hit over $3 million. Not doll hairs, dollars. The people have spoken. So what do you think? Will this convoy force Trudeau to stop with his unhealthy admiration for China-like dictatorships and cause him to turn to run our country how it's meant to be, true, strong, and free? Or will he continue to mandate division, inflation, and segregation? I'm Drea Humphrey, and this is Rebel News.
If you want to know another way you can support the truckers who are driving to Ottawa in this convoy to support you, please open up another screen on your device and go to convoyreports.com. There you'll see a special petition my colleague Mocha has put together. We are calling for an end of the cross-border vaccine mandates that could affect us all if they don't stop immediately. Again, that's convoyreports.com.